This is Ken Pyle, and the cloud computing is all the rage, data centers, that sort of thing, and we always think about bits and bytes, but there's something more important, and we just heard a presentation on something that's very critical, and Brian and Rob, they're with Olson Thielen. Why don't you give us a summary of the presentation you just gave?
Sure. Well, there's a lot of perceptions and assumptions with regard to this area because it's complex, and we gave an overview of prospects and customers' concerns prior to going to a data center solution or a cloud solution. We explained some of the terminology with that so that they can engage their customers in building trust with them and putting controls in place that'll put their mind at ease.
Well, and one of the things, you guys are a CPA firm, and normally, we don't think of CPAs and technology, but you're doing something very important that you've done for years, and that's the audit function. Why don't you tell us a little bit about, what this SOC thing means?
Yeah, what we wanted to make everybody aware of is if a potential client that wants to use the data center asks for a SOC audit, give them the information on what it is. So these audits are a little different than their normal corporate audit, where it's doing the balance sheet, income statement, doing the ticking and tying of that, and reporting on the financial results of a company, to the controls and the operating effectiveness of a data center. So you're going over the privacy, security, and testing those controls to make sure that it's working properly, and that end user can rely on that and know that their information is secure when they're using your data center.
What sort of clients do you typically find, ask for these kinds of audits and controls?
Usually it's some of the larger companies, banks or hospitals or some schools. It comes from their auditors. So a bank's auditors may require, wherever their information is being backed up, for that data center to have a SOC audit done, so they can rely on it for them as auditors of their controls.
So it goes even beyond, the personal relationship a telephone company may have with its customer already. This is something that is needed.
Well, it helps build the trust, right? So you have an independent CPA firm give an assessment of that data center, what types of procedures and controls they have in place. So it's an independent review, which gives them credibility that there's no skin in the game for the CPA firm to not give a independent opinion of what that company has in place. So it's really a trust vehicle so that customer can do business with that data center and be at ease from a mindset perspective.
Well, I would imagine, too, it really helps in those situations where you're going out of market, right, where you're a new kid on the block, as it were.
It is. To get into different industries, especially if a company wants to get into, a data center wants to get into serving a regulatory market, they're going to have, those customers have more issues in terms of building trust with them, and an independent report from a CPA firm can bridge that gap, so to speak.
One of the things that impressed me about the presentation were the number of free resources that are available, and you pointed to a lot of those.
Yeah, NIST, NIST, if you Google that, it's a great organization, all free tools. You're free to disseminate that information, use it, it's non-trademark type information that people can download right now so that they don't have to start from scratch, and they have a good completeness check of, did we think of everything? Because people have put that thought into those documents, so they're great documents for companies to be aware of.
And it seems to me that this is probably like quality and safety and those other sorts of things where you really need to build this into your processes from the beginning. What's your impression of that? Is that
basically kind of some of the things Brian brought up in the presentation was getting your processes documented, getting everything documented and working efficiently. So when you do need either a readiness review or a SOC audit, you have all that information and ready there. So it's always good to document those controls and processes and monitor them. Make sure that they're working properly throughout the year or throughout the time.
So it sounds really, it's just like good big business practice is what you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah, monitoring, are we doing well, and what are we putting in place to safeguard the risks that we have as we're taking critical IT infrastructure for our clients, make sure that we're monitoring correctly, and if we do have a situation that does arise, that we know about it and that we can respond to it.
Well, Brian, I appreciate your time as well as yours, Rob. Thank you.
Thank you, Ken.